Welcome to The Explainer. You know that crazy, nonstop holiday rush? Well, today we're diving into a pretty ancient tradition that might just be the perfect fix, the Advent Fast. All right, so let's just jump right in and look at two totally different ways to handle this season. You've got the one we all know, right? The cultural holiday. It's all about instant gratification, consumerism, the whole deal. But then, on the other side, you have this thing called traditional Advent. So what's that all about? Let's dig in. I mean, you know the feeling, right? It's like this whirlwind of stuff that starts around Thanksgiving and just doesn't stop. And yeah, the source material calls out two things we're all maybe a little too familiar with: that holiday weight gain and, you guessed it, a pretty scary credit card bill come January.
But there's a totally different way to approach this, a kind of historical counter-narrative. And that's what we're going to break down today. We'll start with the modern holiday machine, then look at this lost season of preparation. And after that, we'll see how this whole idea pushes back against instant gratification, materialism, and gluttony to get at something, well, something deeper. Okay, first up, the modern holiday machine. Let's talk about how a sacred season kind of turned into a secular festival.
Yeah, the source material basically calls our modern holidays a secular festival of material wealth and pleasure. And when you think about it, it kind of fits, right? You've got the nonstop eating, the ads telling you to buy that expensive gift for yourself. The whole vibe is just satisfy every single appetite right now.
All right, so let's shift gears and look at the historical tradition of Advent. It's pretty different.
Wow, this timeline really tells the story, doesn't it? Back in the 4th century, it was this quiet time of fasting and preparation. They even called it Little Lent. Fast forward to today, and it's basically become a little Christmas, just a preview of the big party. It's not the prep for the feast anymore, it is part of the feast.
And that's really the key takeaway here. Advent wasn't supposed to be the party. It was meant to be the quiet, focused time before the party. You know, a season to get yourself spiritually ready, a lot like how Lent is the run-up to Easter.
So, you might be wondering, how does a practice this old even work today? Well, the first step is a really powerful one. It's about pushing back against our whole "I want it now" culture.
And this isn't just about sitting around and waiting for something to happen. It's more like an active, hopeful pilgrimage. The source material brings up figures like Simeon and Anna from the Bible. I mean, Anna worshiped there with fasting and prayer night and day. For her, waiting was this incredibly powerful devotional act.
And this quote from Lynn M. Bob just nails it. She says, "In the face of strong messages from our culture that say we should satisfy every desire as soon as we feel it, fasting teaches us something countercultural. It's basically a way to train ourselves to push back against that constant urge for more right now."
So the goal isn't really about your own willpower or what you can accomplish, it's about shifting your focus. The idea is to point our bodies and souls back toward a dependency on God instead of just our own appetites.
Okay, so the next piece of this is a big one. It's about rejecting the materialism and all the stuff that has kind of taken over the holidays.
And this quote from Bishop Callistos Ware really broadens the idea. He says, "The primary aim of fasting is to make us conscious of our dependence upon God." And that's not just about food, right? It could be anything that has a grip on us, especially that constant pressure to buy, buy, buy. So how do you actually do this? Well, there's a modern movement called the Advent Conspiracy that offers a really practical model. It breaks down into 4 simple steps: worship fully, spend less, give more, and love all. It's a pretty powerful framework.
And get this for a real-world impact. The source talks about one church that asked every single member to buy just one less gift. And with the money they saved, they built a well, a medical center, and a community center in Gulu, Uganda. It's just incredible. It shows how even a small collective step back from materialism can make a huge, huge difference.
And finally, this brings us to rejecting gluttony. The Advent Fast serves as a really powerful statement about the crazy imbalance of food in our world.
And the numbers are, well, they're pretty staggering. Just look at this. According to the USDA data cited in the source, more than a quarter, 27% of all the food produced in America just goes to waste. It's thrown out.
And at the very same time, 1 in every 8 Americans got food assistance from Feeding America in just 1 year. Think about that disconnect. We're wasting over a quarter of our food while millions of people are struggling to get enough. The contrast is just stark.
So what's the whole point of all this? Why does rediscovering this tradition even matter?
Well, this quote from the book of Isaiah really gets to the heart of it. Is it not to share your bread with the hungry? See, the tradition connects your own personal discipline directly with social justice. It's not just about you, it's about turning that act into something that helps the community.
Yeah, the idea isn't to flaunt how much abundance we have or how good we are at self-control. It's about using that abundance to try and correct the massive imbalance of hunger and poverty in the world. It's about standing with people who are in need.
So in the end, it really flips the script on the whole season. The holidays are constantly asking us, what do you want? But what if Advent is asking a totally different question? What are you waiting for? And that simple shift invites us to look way beyond our own appetites and think about what truly deeply matters.